Okay.
We're alive.
I was really cute earlier and then I got so freaking hot.
Oh, I think you're cute now. I thought you were
Oh,
cute with your hat.
thanks. But I like just now went and changed my into a t-shirt because I had a sweatshirt on and I'm like, I don't know, I started sweating.
I went back and forth. I put a t-shirt on for a while and then I put my sweatshirt back on because I was like, I'm feeling a little cold again.
I know. I have
Crazy,
my
but
sweatshirt sitting by me just in case, but um yeah, it's just been like kind of an interestingly wild day. Have you felt like your days lately are different than they were before?
no.
Oh.
But I also have like lots of repetitive days because I have small kids. So,
Yeah, I mean, I do a lot of repetitive things too because I have just like a routine, but it seems like lately, I don't know, like time has expanded. Like like I feel like time is moving slower and it's opening a space where I get way more done
no.
in the day. And it's a
No.
fascinating little portal I'm in.
I wish I was in that portal with you. No, because I'm like, okay, when we get off, it's gonna be like, I don't know, 5 o'clock ish our time, and I just have like a whole list of things I could like run through between now and bedtime. So, no, I feel like sometimes, I don't know, sometimes maybe I feel like time is like, oh, it's only this time. I figured it'd be like way later than that, but
Right. That's how I feel. But I do
not
feel
very
like
often.
I have a lot on my plate that I like still need to get done that I haven't gotten done. Things I
Mhm.
understand that aspect of it too, but it just seems like it's moving slower somehow. I don't know. Anyway.
That's interesting. No, I do not feel that way. I wish I did in ways. Right now, I probably don't deserve a treat like that because I would just be like, wow, what am I going to do with myself? Like, I don't even know how to handle this. Whereas
Ooh,
a
juicy.
different season of life, I probably would be like, wow, this is so nice. I'm going to stop and smell the roses.
Yeah, that's funny.
Um, Farmer wants a wife.
Farmer wants a wife. Yeah, we got to dive in. Today's going to be a fast one.
Yeah, episode whatever.
Are we on six?
Yeah,
I think we're
yeah,
on six.
I think so too. Um, so Farmer Wants a Wife, episode 6. I am always hesitant about this whole like let's pick another girl and throw her into the mix thing. Like it kind of annoys me a little bit, but I think because it's not a dramatic show, they have to figure out shakeups here and there.
Ooh, yeah, how to add some drama.
Yeah, and I think that that was like the goal of this because they did not do it in the first season, but they did do it last season and obviously again this season. Um, in last season, I think Jennifer picked, if I remember that right. And this time the moms picked. And I thought that was interesting that these boys are like, "My mama knows best." I'm like, okay, sure
Right.
she does. Your mama's boy. That's so bad. I shouldn't feel like that. But that's what I was thinking. I'm
Nope.
like, yeah, mama knows best. Which I mean, I'm a mom, so I should feel like honored that that's how they think about it. But I also feel like at their age and their stage in life,
Hmm.
they're past mama knows best. I guess that's my opinion.
Well,
Like
right. I felt
you're
the
a grown
same
man.
way. Yeah, I felt the same way. Like there's a cute aspect to it that's just like cute, but it's not like you're saying when I think of the kind of man that I would want to marry, I think
Yeah.
about a man who can stand on his own 2 feet and knows that he knows what's best for him and that he's not living to like please his mom or think that his mom knows best all the time or whatever. And I mean, I even think about that like Jagger is 17 years old and I purposely and for a while now I've like really purposely I don't want to say pushed him, but set a stage for him to know that he knows best and to learn how to listen to himself and really own who he is and what he wants, and that he doesn't have to live to please me or anyone else. And so I don't know. I personally value that kind of characteristic in anyone, in man or woman, and especially in a man who's ready, says he's ready to get married. So I agree with you. I mean, and I also am curious, and this will be like diving right in, so we don't have to go straight to this if you don't want, but I am curious what you thought about the differences in the people who like brought the woman back, the new woman back, and the people who didn't, because I was literally thinking to myself, I made this little note that John said something like that he really felt like he needed, because he brought someone back with him. And he
Yeah.
said he really felt like he needed to explore it out of respect to everyone so they would all know and be clear. And then I was like, when he said that, I was like, I get that. I totally get it. Because if you're feeling like there might be something there and you're thinking about marriage, like I'm that way too. I understand. Like you would want to be like, no, I'm really clear. Like the point of this is for me to explore all my options and decide. And so if I feel an attraction or a draw, then I want to check that out. But then I also felt like for,
Okay, good. Because I'm like shaking my head. I was
yeah,
like,
but I also felt like for the men who did not bring the person home, like I was especially thinking about Colton, that was so, and I could just see it. It was so containing for the women that he had there already, of how him saying, no, I'm happy with the women I have and I want to just focus on them. And like that gave them a sense of containment. And you could tell that that gave them a sense of safety, I feel like. And my fascination with that is how, because, you know, I love all the juiciness and the contradictions, but I was fascinated by my response inside myself and my being able to see both of those perspectives, because it was a great example of how when we act in alignment with ourselves, it can look like two completely different things. Like there's no right or wrong. It's just what is in alignment for you.
yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, all of that makes sense. Which I kind of feel bad because I'm like going back to, I was thinking while you were talking earlier before you like, I have a question. I was gonna say, back to the mama knows best, and then I'll jump into what you're just asking. I think there's a difference between mama knows best and like respecting or valuing your mom's opinion. And I think like
100%.
if they wanted their moms to meet these girls and like help them, think it through, I could see that and
Mhm.
like respect. I don't know, just like my mom picked out this girl for me, so I should just like her, or I should, whatever. Anyways, that's
Yeah,
what I want
no,
to
I
share.
100% agree with that perspective. Yeah, there
And
is
then,
different.
yeah, I'm kind of like on Kaylee's side a little bit when she's like, "Well, when are you gonna stop like looking? Like, at what point?" Because like literally, you can meet somebody in the grocery store after you're like committed to somebody and be like, "Oh, they caught my attention." Like, at what point? And do you decide? Which I understand it's a show, and like this is another opportunity in the show, and explore it, whatever. Especially if you think you're gonna get married, you're not gonna have this chance again. But I mean, it's like the boys who like, oh, it's my bachelor party and I need to go to a strip club because I'm never gonna see another woman naked again. It's like, okay, hold up. Like, you can do whatever you want to do. That's fine. Like, do whatever you want to do. Do your heart's desires. I just think like, to me, I guess for my husband, I would be happy that like I'm the only woman he wants to see naked for forever. Like he didn't go, oh, I need to go see naked women because I'll never see them again. It was just like I have my naked woman. You know what I'm saying? Like she's gonna be the
Right.
she's the one I
So,
want to look at. So why do I want to go look at other girls? Like
yeah. Like
so
to
I
use
kind
that
of
example, oh, keep going. And then I want to come back to that example, but keep going.
so I kind of think that I like what Kaylee had to say about because that's kind of how I feel. Like at what point is this gonna not be like a game? What point? And I'm not saying it's a game. I don't know how to say it without sounding like judgmental or rude. That's not my intention. I just like agreed with her, but then he's like, I didn't like his response to that at all because he said, well, I just want to explore things and like it's not fair to anybody if I'm like thinking about this new girl I met for, an hour.
Yeah.
And I guess it's like they're setting it up as an opportunity, like this is part of it. But I didn't really like his response. Like I didn't feel like it was very masculine or containing. I did not.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I can understand that. I did like it because I felt like that's who he is and it's true to him. And so if that's his truth, then that's what he should communicate. Okay, so I liked that he just spoke his truth, and I can see what you're saying about the containment piece. Um, but to me, it's kind of like if he's not there and he's not able to offer you that containment, then you're looking for containment in the wrong place. You're like trying to buy eggs from the hardware store. So
Okay.
he's not able, like, if he's not 100%, then he can't be 100% in. Does that
Well,
make
you're
sense?
gonna love this because my projector self is responding to his feelings, and I think his feelings of confusion, I'm amplifying that, and it's like annoying me. Like that's
Yeah.
me, and
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know that Johnny feels annoyed. I don't know that John feels annoyed at all. I would doubt
No,
it
I
because
don't
I
think he
think
does.
he's kind of like more confident, but
Yeah, I
that's
think
yeah,
he's
it's
just
like hitting
having,
something in me.
yeah, I just think he's having his process. I'm curious if he's a line three or if there's a line three somewhere in that, you know, relationship piece for him. But like having experiences and making quote unquote mistakes, failing forward, all of that's part of it. And really, if he's not sure yet, then he can't offer the provision, protection, and containment to a woman because he has to be clear in himself first to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, but I
Yes.
do
And
want,
I think
does that make
that could
sense?
be yeah, and I think that could be confusing to the girls because obviously he's not clear. Anyways, let's not harp on these things because we have lots of points to hit
Yes.
before
And
before the
that's the
end.
process. Right. But I do want to say one thing about the strip club because I have to.
Tell me.
Okay. So it's back to this thing where, like, I was saying how him bringing the person back because that was in alignment for him was fine. And then Colton saying, I won't, was great because that was in alignment for him.
Yeah.
Um, so the strip club thing is kind of similar. It's interesting to me because I can see it as being like somewhere you want to go because you got to go see all these other naked women. And it's like a just
Your last
a
hurrah.
rose kind of energy to it when it's that way. Like, oh, I got to hurry up and get it all in. And like, I don't know. But when it's like, I don't know, like just going and being fun and like not taking it seriously in that
Yeah.
way. And it's
Hmm.
just like you're in that atmosphere, but like you're with your boys and you're just, I think it can be very different. Like it can be playful
Yes.
versus um real like sexually yucky.
Yes. I totally agree. And I think like what you're saying with John or whoever brings people back versus not bringing people back. Yeah, it's the same kind of perspective. Like it can be okay. well, let's just say, okay, it can be the same way for people who bring a girl back. It can be okay. Like there are right reasons on why you should bring the girl back, but there's also, in my opinion, wrong reasons.
Yeah,
And you need to like evaluate that. Yeah, just like the strip club. And I'm not saying people are bad if they want to go do that at their bachelor party. That is not what I'm saying.
right.
I'm very grateful that that's not like, that's not why my husband would go. His would be more of like what you're saying, the playful,
Yeah.
like doing the boy thing with my guys, like it is what it is. Versus like, oh, I need to like see everybody.
Yeah.
I have like several notes. I love Jay again. I'm not gonna lie. I really like him so much. I think that he is just very interesting because I really think like, so for me, this episode, Julia and her attitude really stuck out for me in the beginning, like when they're shoveling the poop and she's like, at first I thought she was cute because when he said, okay, Julia, and I knew why he was asking her, Julia and Grace, we're gonna go shovel this poop. And she was
I
cute.
cannot wait.
She was cute
Go
though.
ahead.
She's like, I want the black shovel. It matches my outfit. I'm like, okay, girl, like, way to show up. And then when she's like, I was not born in Malibu to shovel horse crap. And I was just like,
Yeah, she was like,
what the heck does that
or
even
something. And then she was like, oh, I don't poop.
Yeah, that
I
was so funny.
I was just kind of like, I mean, oh my God, of course, like I get it. I get it. And pooping like in front of people, not like even in the same bathroom, but let's just say when you first start dating someone, it can be
Yeah.
uncomfortable. It's like, oh my God, are they gonna like hear me poop? Am I like, I don't know, you know, all that stuff. Yeah. But the truth is like, yeah, she was just a little too prissy for me.
Yes, and I really liked how he what buddy?
Will we be here tomorrow?
Tomorrow. I really liked how he did it. Like I enjoyed his approach to like wanting to see her words versus her actions. Like I like that he talked about that because he's like, she says she wants to be here, but her actions aren't lining up. Like, let's really just kind of get a better feel for this.
Right.
And like her emotions are kind of a lot for me, like her emotional swings. Because even at the beginning of the episode, she's like, I just felt really bad that she cried and blah blah blah. In the last episode, she's like, I could care less about the girl. So then I was kind of confused about that swing. And then when she went from like, oh, this shovel matches my outfit to I'm not doing that, I was like, okay, here's like another big swing.
And didn't she also? I mean, I could have her like, I know who she is. I'm not confused in that way, but I mean, I could have this confused. But I feel like she also maybe said, but maybe that was Gracie. One of them said about the girl who had been crying, like, well, I'm trying to include her more now because I can understand that how she might feel. Like,
No, I think that was Julia.
that's who
I
I
don't
thought.
think
So
anybody else addressed it. And
yeah,
then, like,
she's
at the
been
end of the
kinda all over.
episode, she had another swing. Well, I didn't even want to be here. And I just was like, yeah, I don't think you're going to work for Jay. Like,
but she's
a great
person. Right. Yeah, I mean, she might just be like in having all these emotional waves and whatever, but I agree that it's too much. Like she just didn't even fit on the farm. Like I don't even know why she was there. She did not want to be on the farm from moment one. So it's like, why the fuck are you even here? Okay,
right.
That's my.
Yeah,
However, I do think it's interesting that you still like Jay so much because he brought home the girl that his mom.
Yes, but his attitude and his approach is so different.
I mean, I love him, so I don't.
Yeah, listen, I
don't
actually thought about you because I was like, okay, Jay would be for Amanda, and who would be my person? I don't know. Probably Matt because he's indecisive. I don't know. That's literally what I was like thinking. I kind of Colton's growing on me.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jay's definitely yours. Like I like Jay. Don't get me wrong.
Tell me why you think that.
I would like to be with Jay. I think. But I think if it was you and I, Jay would probably pick you because you would be calmer, and I would be like, I wouldn't be Julia. Like, I would totally shovel some horse crap. Like, whatever. I mean, it's part of like, that's why I like Jay, because he's trying to figure out who would do things with him and be part of it with him versus somebody who's like not even willing. You know, he wants to have a relationship where like both people are doing things together. He's like, she doesn't have to do it every day, but like, I want to know that, you know, if there's something going on, like maybe she'll show up for me or whatever. Anyways, I just think that Jay holds the right containment. That's what I think. I think that Jay would
And
totally.
that's why you think I would like him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why I think you would like him? Is that
Yeah.
your question? Would you say? I
Yeah,
think that
like
you.
why did you think we would be the two for each other? And I mean, you know, hypothetically in this show.
Because I think like you kind of give me Karina energy. I think Karina gives me Amanda energy. I think that like I don't know. I feel like her and Jay are like a pretty good fit. But I just think, yeah, the way he like is approaching it, his masculine containment, instead of like freaking out, he kind of like pauses and then like approaches the situation. And I thought he handled Julia at the end very well. I thought he handled Tiana leaving like well. I just feel like he's handled it all, and he's been pretty like steady. He hasn't like.
Yeah. I agree. I really do like him as well. And Karina, wasn't she the one who was like, he was like, you seem like hot or like mad or something? And she was like, I am.
No, that's Claire. You're thinking
Oh.
about John and Claire.
No.
Who said that she was mad? I don't think he said she. Go ahead. Finish your thought. Maybe he did. Maybe I'm not thinking right.
They were sitting around the fire. And wait, he had his one-on-one with her, right? In the truck bed?
Yes. So maybe
Yeah.
you're thinking right, and I just didn't pick that up.
Yeah, they
I
were
didn't
sitting
get to
at the
rewatch
fire.
it all towards like all at
Oh,
the
yeah.
end. Like usually I watch it at least twice, and like the first time is for enjoyment, and the second time is when I'll take notes and like really tune into the episode and like pay attention. And I didn't get that far.
Was he could tell, like she wasn't like a bitch or anything to that girl or to him, but she just was being real.
Yeah.
Like, and he said, I can tell like you're kind of hot or something about this. And she was like, I am, like, I'm processing it. I'll be fine. But yeah, like I'm frustrated by the fact that you brought someone else in. And I think that was fair of her to say, like, but I think that was also a great example or indication of like how they might handle each other when things are uncomfortable or in conflict. And it was a really short snippet, but it was like, oh, they can actually both really clearly communicate and hold space for one another, and not, it wasn't like somebody was having a fit or, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't like, I always feel like Julia has like fits. And I don't know, going back to your contradicting thing. Obviously, she's acting in alignment with herself, and that's fine. It just is not like if you're gonna be on the farm, and this is just my opinion, or in any relationship, like there's a lot of go with the flow like parts to it, and it can't always just be like I'm from Malibu and these are my expectations. Like that's just not
right. If your idea is that you're from Malibu, so this is how you are and this is how you want to keep being, that's fine. But then don't go like on a show where you would have to live on a farm, because that's clearly not Malibu. Or you should have picked Matt, the farmer who's, you know, got avocado trees in California. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I agree. What else did I write down? Okay, so Matt didn't pick a girl, right? So Matt and Colton did not pick girls. And then Jay and John did. I was really kind of proud of Matt for not picking a girl, because I felt like that was, the girls have been saying he's indecisive, and I feel like that's like a moment where he could step up and be decisive for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think he responded to that well. I thought Colton was hilarious, and he's like, can you stay out here for a minute or whatever? And then he went inside. He's like, I'm just kidding. There's nobody.
I know. He's always
And I
joking.
loved how you said that earlier. Like, yeah, he did a really good job being like, I've already got like these girls that I'm super interested in. Like, I'm not gonna add another one to the mix. Like, I'm good with what I have. And I thought that was really sweet.
So that though might really say something about John and like how he is feeling if he's not fully, you know, like 100% on the girls he has, which is why he might want to bring someone else.
I would
I
agree with
also-
that.
Yeah, I also don't know if you picked up on I forgot her name, and I wrote it down to remember it. And I honestly, like, this is what I wrote. Ross. So that's clearly not her name. I mean, I meant something must have mistyped, but the girl that Jay picked took him home, like that his mom.
Riza or something like that. I think
Okay.
that's what I wrote down.
So
Yeah, something like
my phone, when I made the note, probably auto-corrected it. Well, anyway, I don't know if you picked up on this, but she said she felt a spark with him and maybe it was like a past life connection or something.
oh my gosh, no, I did not notice that. You were like,
Yeah.
that's right, my girl. That's my spirit animal right there.
Yeah, so it was just fascinating. And again, that doesn't maybe necessarily mean that they're going to, like, it's funny. I went on this date once with this guy, like, not very long ago. And he did seem like familiar, like I knew him, but it wasn't like a romantic spark immediately. And we went on a few dates, and I was like, this feels not like we could be maybe friends, but we are definitely not like romantically compatible.
Mm-hmm.
And I also just felt like I would kind of like devour him or something. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, not because I wanted to devour him, but like what I mean is like, I was just so much more wild and I'm not even wild, but than he is.
Don't lie
But
to me.
I went into I seem wild.
I said, don't lie to me. Yes.
Oh.
Like, I'm not really wild. I'm like,
No.
don't lie.
But I know. But I was like, I went into this thing with her. I was like, okay, did I know him past life, blah, blah, blah. And like, he was my dad when I was like a little girl. This is what came back, and like, it did kind of feel like that energy with him too. Like now, not that it always has to feel that way, because like once Jagger and I were brother and sister, and like now he's my son. But anyway, it was just fascinating. And I thought, I wonder if they will end up together or if it's just they're in like their souls do find each other for different reasons, but it's not necessarily to be together. We'll see.
That is so interesting. Yeah.
I'm about it. I'm about that kind of stuff though. Like, I love thinking about that. I love going into like past life stuff. I love thinking and feeling into like the spark and why it happens with different people and all that. But yeah, she mentioned it, so I thought I'd bring it up.
Bringing it up. Yeah, I did not hear that. See, there's certain things that's so funny. We're so good at this. Like certain things that we both pick up, certain things that you'll pick up or I'll pick up. That's why I like talking about this. This is so fun for me. I feel like earlier I had so many things. I was gonna say all these things, and then as we get to talking, I'm like, I don't know.
Like what you thought about Matt, because I just think he's awkward. Like, he is just awkward to me.
Yeah.
I don't know how they picked him for this show because he's so awkward.
Because he's got a freaking phenomenal house.
He does.
I mean, and he's cute. He's cute. They probably don't know in their interviews how they're really going to show up on camera. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think Matt's finally starting to get into maybe a groove. Like when he was cooking them breakfast, that's what I wrote down. I think he's starting to figure things out. I think he's starting to get into a little more of a groove with the situation. I would say he's more of an indecisive person, but I think he's also shy, and maybe he came into it with certain expectations and he just needs to relax a little bit and let his walls down. I don't think he's ever maybe been the center of attention in like a big crowd. So, having all these girls like stare at you every day and have all these expectations, I'm sure it's just not comfortable. Um, so that's my opinion. I think he's gonna get better. I do. I'm like anticipating tomorrow night's episode because we're recording on Wednesday. I'm anticipating tomorrow night's episode. Hopefully, that he'll have even more of like a disposition or ground that he's standing on.
Yeah.
Here's my one note. So, what did you think about the one girl? I think her name's Lily, and she told John that he needs to like open up more and like show up more and really take more ownership, I think is what she said. Something like that, like in responsibility to like figure this out.
And to show them if he's
Really
interested
kind of,
or not.
huh?
And I think she said something about like the more responsibility to show them if he's interested or not, and like be more
Yeah.
affectionate or something. I agree.
Yeah, something along those lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked how she approached it. And because she wasn't like bitchy or whiny or like, how dare you bring somebody home? She just like, listen, like, you need to be more available to all of us and like figure it out because time's
Yeah.
ticking. I really like that. I mean, that was very, I would say, masculine of her to do that. But I think he needed to hear that. I hope he takes her advice.
Yeah. I mean, it's an interesting thing because like when you say it's like kind of masculine, and I can see why you said that. And I often think about like fascinating because like in myself even when because she was giving voice to a feminine desire, so her masculine was definitely like stepping on board to like give form to the feminine desire, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it is fascinating how that all of our like masculine and feminine is working together, and we're not just one or the other. Nobody. um
But do you think John could respond to like a feminine
right
desire? Like, I don't know that he's there yet.
right, I think that he resists that. That's why I think he was more interested in Samantha, because she led with her masculine side more. And that's fine. Like he might want a partner who is more like that. I think he responded well. I think he was like open and receptive to her request, but I also we'll just have to see if he actually like follows through and can shift into that more. But I don't think that he's gonna necessarily, like, I don't see him as the kind of person who is super developed in his own masculine and is comfortable enough with his own feminine to really hold a super feminine woman. Like,
Yeah.
I don't see that. But I also, that's why it's like, I don't know if I've said this before, but one of the things that my mentor, like, kind of, she would say this to me, and it made a lot of sense to me, is that for a woman that's searching for the kind of relationship that like I have been searching for a long time, but where you want to feel contained and safe and provide for and protected and all that, the man's masculine has to be like bigger than yours. But sometimes, like, if a woman isn't looking for all of that, then she might be okay with a man whose masculine isn't as big as her, or isn't like way bigger than hers, because she's just like happy to also kind of be in her masculine. Does that make sense?
No, it makes total sense. I mean, everybody's so different and like their wants, needs, and desires.
Yes.
No, that all makes total sense, I think. And it's like finding a person that fits in with like where, because I mean, that's what it boils down to is like masculine and feminine. It's masculine and feminine are like
Yeah.
balancing out like communication and wants and desires.
Yeah.
But I
And
think like,
actually bringing things to the physical world, right? That's
yeah,
how we can create babies together. So I have a question. Do you feel like who do you feel out of John's people? Do you feel like there's anybody that he's really clicking with or that you see him with?
I mean, he seemed to like Claire, but like you're
Is she
saying,
the
he
new girl?
definitely no, she was the one that like was over and they were like teasing each other about how to hug right or whatever.
Oh yeah, it's more of that weird stuff.
Yes, and I think that like there's something missing or like he's got a wall up or something. Like cuz you're saying he's like Kaylee's too emotional basically is what he was saying about her. But like I don't know. I
I'm
just see
scared of
like
hurting her.
yeah. I think he just something's happened. I'd be curious about his past or whatever. Something has happened to where he's like
Yeah.
not open to like figuring out emotions or
Yeah.
discovering emotions or something. Because like I feel like if any of the girls went to Colton and they were I mean the ones he's like interested in and they were like, "Hey, I really want this." Like I think he would make it happen. Like if they were like, "I
I
would
do
just
too.
love it if you got up tomorrow morning and made us breakfast." Like I think he would like respond well to that or at least meet them in the middle or something.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
even Jay, like I
Yeah.
think Jay
Oh,
should
100%.
respond well. And Matt, I think if the girls are like Matt, I think his indecisiveness like doesn't allow them to approach him like that, maybe. But I think if the girls were like, Matt, I would just love XYZ, like I think he would
Ooh.
try to like make it
But
happen.
you just brought something up for me though. We've talked about this before. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know about on the podcast, but when we've had conversations. When the feminine is clear on her desire, she guides and directs the masculine in that way. Like, she can ask for what she wants, and then it gives the masculine direction, something to focus on, a
Yeah.
goal. So, like, maybe what we view as Matt's like indecisiveness, because he is, I mean, but maybe like that would actually be great in relationship if the woman was willing to be like, this is my desire, this is what I want. It could be exhausting because I mean, we want our men to have some direction and have some
Yeah.
decisiveness and stuff. But I'm just saying, like, as you were talking about that, that's what came up for me was like, oh, well, I wonder what it would be like to play with that with him. If the girls played with that a little bit, how that would feel and
Yeah.
what we would see. Um, but back to John, I think that new girl, when she came
Yeah.
up, the look on his face, and I think he had like a spark with her.
You think?
Yeah, the look on his face was like just different than with the other people. And he was like, she is drop dead gorgeous. And he was just like gazing at her.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was just because he thought she was pretty. I think it felt.
It's just funny because I don't feel like she looks like the other girls that he has. Like the rest of them have been like blonde, lighter hair, like fair skinned. And then she's like total opposite. So maybe he didn't realize that he was open to somebody with darker hair. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I will be curious to learn more and see more and see if there's like next week if there's more there. Like, or if he'll just decide, well, I don't know, maybe not. Because I think his problem and his biggest hangup is the whole Samantha thing. I think that is his biggest hangup. And I think since she left, he's just like not super interested in any of the other girls. So he's just kind of like, well,
Yeah.
let's go clean the chicken coop. Like, I don't know.
Right. But I'm
I don't
interested
know.
to see what happens with this new girl. Like, I'm just
Yeah.
interested to see if more unfolds for them because he did seem kind of smitten, to use my dad's word,
Yeah. Yeah.
smitten with her right off the bat.
Yeah. I'm really curious. And then I'm also interested to see how the dynamic in like the houses compare, the ones with new girls versus the ones without girls. Because I think Colton and Matt kind of both hit it on the head. Like Colton said, I'm not stupid. Why would I want to piss off 4 girls?
I know.
And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
that is like so smart because John, the little dummy, he's like I wrote it down, anticipating an easier welcome. I was anticipating an easier welcome. I'm like,
Yeah. That is,
what planet do you live on that you're gonna bring in a new girl and the rest of them are gonna be like, oh, welcome, we're so happy you're
I
here.
know.
And I thought they were all
Okay.
pretty nice about it. They were all like,
I know.
hi, come on in.
But that would be so fake to be like, oh my God, I'm so happy you're here. No, you're
Yeah.
fucking not. You're
No,
not.
like that's so
Yeah.
he's just I don't know what planet he's from, but it's somewhere different.
It's not Earth.
Like, not how it was gonna be.
I know we only have a few minutes left, and you know what we haven't discussed?
Mm.
The girl from Worcester left.
Oh yeah. She like self-eliminated. You're right.
Yeah, what did you think about that? That she was just like, I'm gone.
I'm kind of impressed and proud of her a little bit because she hasn't had the easiest time. And I think it's like, you haven't paid attention to me really. Like, I haven't felt like you paid attention to me. And now you're bringing in somebody new. So, like, I'm just gonna call it a day. And I think that that's admirable to be like, if it was really me at the end, like you would have already given me attention and time. And I mean, I know there's a process and there's timelines and whatever, but I've kind of respected what she did. And like, I deserve more than this. And I'll figure it out somewhere else. Like, thanks for the opportunity. And then she like ended it really cute. Like, it has been fun. Like she said, this was fun. It was a good time. Like,
Yeah.
and I think Jay handled it pretty well having 2 people leave. I was like, whoa, they're dropping like flies over there.
Yeah, I don't think he anticipated
What did you
her.
think?
Well, I don't think he anticipated her leaving, when he like purposely said goodbye to someone else. I don't think he anticipated, oh, I'm gonna have someone else go. But I do think he took it well. And I think ultimately that, like, I understand her 100%. I understand her perspective on why she left. I also feel like it's such a short period of time that if he did feel a spark or a connection with someone else, that it's important to, I think it's important to explore that. You don't have that long, you want to get married. It would be one thing if they came in and just thought that's a nice person, but I don't feel anything. But if you kind of felt that, then I personally would understand them wanting to explore it, and I would want them to, because I would want someone to pick me who was like 100% all in and had no questions. I wouldn't want them, pick me sounds so hilarious, but anyway, it's just the nature of the show. But I wouldn't want them to want to get engaged to me or marry me if they still had something in the back of their mind about some girl who they had a spark with that they just didn't let themselves go there.
Yeah.
Because they thought it looked bad. So anyway,
yeah,
so
I
personally may not have left for that reason. However, I think if that was true for her and that's how she felt, then good. I'm glad she left and she had the courage to do it.
Yeah, I think sometimes, like, and I was thinking about this, with these shows, I think the girls forget that they have power and they have choice and they can take ownership when they want to take ownership and do what they need to do. That's like good for or do what's best for them. Because I think sometimes they all sit around like, is he gonna pick me? Is he gonna pick me? And like you're saying, is he gonna pick me? Like, let me roll my eyes. And instead of being in that mind frame, you can also have the mind frame of, I really don't feel like I've been getting the time and attention that I've wanted. And like, I'm just gonna take ownership of this situation and say, I'm just gonna go. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
like,
not
do I want
really
to
sure.
choose him? Do I want to choose him? Do
Yeah.
I want to be here? Am I getting enough from him, or I feel like it's worth sticking around, even though I don't feel like I've had enough time? Like, I feel like in my body, in my gut, in my knowing inside of me, that no, I still need to stay because there's something more to explore, or like, I'm done,
Yeah.
and that's like
Yeah.
so important to trust yourself.
And to like have the patience too. Like, okay, do I really want to be here another week when he has a new
Yeah.
girl now? So like,
Yeah.
is he even going to give me the one-on-one? Like, is he that interested? Like, I guess that would be my conversation I'd want to have before I like self-eliminated. I'd just be like, listen, like, I'm glad you have this new girl, but I've been here for a while. So like, I would really like to get to know you more.
Yeah.
Do you feel like I'm going to get that like time, or because I could see what she's saying. Like, man, it would be a real slap in the face for him to pick another person next week instead of her. But then
Yeah.
sometimes you see it where they don't pick people because they know they have strong connections with them. I don't know. Sometimes, like, one of these days, I really want one of these guys, especially in a self elimination situation, like, no, please, like, I really would like for you to stay. Like, obviously, he's not that interested in you. Otherwise, he would have
He would
said,
have
hey,
asked. Yeah.
can you
Yeah.
please stay? Like, we haven't really gotten a lot of time.
I
Like,
agree. Yeah.
this doesn't mean that I value you any less. I just like want to see where, this goes. Like, can you please trust me and just stay?
Right.
But
Yeah,
like,
I
do
agree with
that.
you.
So
I think the
obviously,
fact that he didn't do that says enough. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, good for her. Way to not like waste your time and stay there another week and then feel even worse next week when he doesn't pick you and he picks the new girl for the one-on-one. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Cool. Well,
Anyways, it was a good episode. I enjoyed it, but I'm really excited because I think they're going to be doing a group episode tomorrow. I like it when they all get together in a group. I feel like everybody is so much more relaxed and like it's enjoyable, and I don't know, that's just my opinion.
yeah, I like it too. Yeah, I know what you mean.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm excited. I always love like just watching the evolution of it all and seeing where it goes. Did you,
Yeah.
by chance, I know it's time, we've got to like hop off, but did you ask your dad anything else about the spark stuff?
No,
No.
why did my brain not think about that? No, I was asking him for parenting advice this morning, actually, because I've been having a rough go lately. And I'm like, listen, because I mean, I think he did pretty well raising me. And I don't look back and be like, oh my gosh, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't know. I think social media, this is my last little bit, has created, and there's other things in my life that has happened too, has like created and planted a seed of doubt in me as far as like I'm not doing it right, because you get on social media and you're comparing and all these other people are showing their highlight reels and whatever, and yeah,
The lovely highlight reels.
yeah, and I think that I actually had a thing come up for me this week about a situation I had happen when I was in high school, and this girl like laughed at me because I had said something that I had felt like my body was telling me or whatever. And I'm like, I bet you that's why I don't I don't think that I know what I'm talking about or trust my body, because somebody laughed at me when I did.
Ooh, good for
I
you
know.
for
And
pinpointing
I was like, dang. Like all of these little
that.
seeds of doubt, I feel like people have planted in me, whether they realize it or not.
Yeah, and then I mean, I know you know this process, but that's a great opportunity to really go inside your body. Where do you feel that teenage girl in your body, and talk to her and bring in what you need and shift that. That's one of my favorite processes. I know we've done it together in sessions, but it's one of my favorite processes for really transforming something and making peace with a part of myself that just wants to be integrated in a new way.
Yeah. Yes. And it happens all the time. Like when you share parts of yourself and people just like laugh or roll their eyes or whatever. And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, okay then. And I think I need to just start like realizing that obviously that those people are not my people. Like the people who
Woo,
can
girl.
support me
Yes.
are my people. They're not gonna like laugh and roll their eyes when I say something that I feel like is true about myself or whatever. Like they're gonna be like, well, why do you think that? And like, is that the way you want to be? Like, is that something you want to work on? Instead of just be like,
There
whatever.
are dogs going crazy outside. I'm sorry if you hear that. I don't know. I have my windows open.
Your cat? Is that what you said?
No, there are dogs outside going
Oh,
nuts. I don't know what's going on.
I can hear a little something.
Okay. Well, I agree with you. I think also, like, even if people, like, I may not have the same perspective and opinions on everything that you do, and we've talked about this before, but like, I can honor your truth and your perspective and your opinion and the way you want to live, even if it's different than my truth and the way I live, because everyone is on their own path. We all have our own reasoning and truth. It's just like the situation with John and Colton we were talking about. Like they're doing totally different things, but for their own good reasons.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I would love to know more about their history and their background and how they grew up, but
Yeah.
maybe they'll tell us, maybe they won't. I don't know.
But I'm really happy to hear you. Like I think it's such a powerful thing, and I mean still like I remind myself of this at times when I get my feelings hurt or like feel misunderstood. It's less and less so like the more practice I do with it, but I still sometimes have to remind myself when people misunderstand me or just say mean things about like my truth, and it feels cutting and it hurts, like, oh yeah, not my people, or just it doesn't matter, like I don't need their approval, I don't need their validation, you know.
Yeah. Yes. Totally agree.
Yeah, so good for you.
Yeah, and if any of these people who are on this show are listening to us, you don't need our approval or validation.
Yeah.
If John and all of these boys are listening,
Oh shit, yeah, do you live your life. We just
like we said, no judgment.
no,
We
we
don't
just
care. We're
yeah,
curious. We have questions if you want to answer
we
them.
are curious cats and we like to just talk about our own thoughts and opinions.
Yes.
And
About your life.
explore like other possibilities, other timelines, other like that is fun.
It is so fun.
And also what you said earlier about commitment, like if people well, at what point are they going to just like commit and stop looking elsewhere? And I think that's such a gift from a man when he does that, being able to trust it and knowing he didn't just rush into it and do it because he felt pressure, but like, it's true for him and you can trust it. So
Yeah.
I can be really patient with men who are having their process and being honest with themselves and going through that and honest with me and keeping me informed, because as a manifesting generator, I like need to be informed.
Yeah.
That's important. But I think that because I'm in response informed, that's my strategy. Anyway, I think that I can have a lot of patience for that when they're just being really honest and in alignment, and then let me know, here's where I am, here's where I've landed, and I know I can trust it. I would rather have that than someone just tell me what they think I want to hear.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure. Be open and honest.
Yeah. Anyway. Well, this has been beautiful and fun as always.
Yeah, this has been fun. I'm excited to see tomorrow night's episode. I'm like itching. I'm so ready.
Me too. I'm always ready. I'm like, come on, Thursday.
I know. It seems like it takes forever. And then by the time Wednesday rolls around, it's like, oh my gosh, it's almost here.
I know. And I'll probably be watching it on like some point over the weekend because my parents are coming tomorrow. Jagger has a volleyball game and a band concert.
Yeah.
And Denny has a turn, and then they'll be here, and then he has a tournament all day Saturday that they're staying for. So it's gonna be. My mom
Busy.
and I might watch it together though. Yeah, because
Oh yeah, that'd be fun. You could get
yeah,
her
we like to watch it.
opinion.
Yeah,
You should totally
we like
watch
to
it
watch.
together. Get her opinion. See what she says.
Yeah, I may. So,
I would love that.
sometimes we watch something, and my dad starts to watch it, but he falls asleep, and then we just watch it.
Yeah, that's me. American Idol. Every episode this season, I've been like asleep before the end. I try really hard to stay awake for the kids. They're kids, people I want to watch, and then I'm like, oh, it's not happening.
Yeah, then you're out.
I'm out. Yeah.
All right.
Anyways, okay. Well, have a great evening. It's
You
been
too.
fun. I am looking forward to our next episode.
All right, me too. Later.
Bye.